Barakatah Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who are laboring in this truth with all sincerity. To you we say Shalom. Also, Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who are your so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird. To you we say Shalom. All right, this is your brother Ayashar Barzal.
I'm a one Ayash.
You're right.
All right, and we're going to bring you hopefully an edifying lesson on keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, even though we're under grace. All right, let's go ahead with that opening scripture.
Khan, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe, meaning destruction, be unto the pastors that destroy the scatter of my sheep, Slakia, and scatter my sheep, Slakia, and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord. And how you guys scattering the sheep of Yahweh Bashim Ashar, right? I'm teaching false doctrines, damnable heresies, and the main one we're going into is, you guys teaching that the law, statutes, and the commandments are done away with, all right? In verse 2, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. All right, so you scattering the flock of Yahweh Bashim Shai, telling them that the law is done away with when it's clearly not, according to the scriptures, man. There's going to be a heavy price to pay for that.
All right.
All right. This is Baruch 4 and 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever. So he's saying, this is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever. All right. How is something that endure forever supposed to be done away with? All
Okay.
right. So one thing has to be a lie, and it's not the scriptures. So, and then it goes into all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Right. So, uh, back in Jeremiah 23, it says, "Woe be unto the pastors." All right, for scattering the flock of Israel. All right. So that's destruction coming upon you for that. All right, because like it says in Revelations, if you add or take away from this book, I will also add unto you the plagues of this book and take your name out of the book of life.
Con.
All
Con.
right. So, for doing that, there's a heavy price to pay for that.
Con. Con. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 40, and it reads, and this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel after leaving the Egyptian bondage. Verse 40, and it reads, thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, and that thou may prolongest thy days upon the earth, which Yahweh thy power give thee forever. Okay? He's saying if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, it's going to always go not only well with you, but well with your children. Okay? And because we haven't done that, that's why we're in the predicament that we're in today. And it goes on to say, um, in this captivity that we're in today, and it's a harsh captivity. Okay? It goes on to say that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth. Okay? That because when you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that's transgression of the law. Transgression of the law brings death. First John 3 and 4 says, "Whoever transgresseth the law committeth sin, for sin is transgression of the law, and the wages of sin is death," according to Romans 6:23. Okay, and he says, "On the that you may prolong your days upon the earth, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee forever." Okay, This world was created for our sakes. That's what he's saying right here. And you'll see that in Second Ezra 6, uh, Second Ezra chapter 6, I believe verses 54 through 59. You know, this world was created for our sakes. But because we transgressed the law, you know, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, according to Job 9:24. All right? Yes, sir?
Yeah, I got. This is Proverbs. This is Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law. But let thy heart keep my commandments. All right. So, you know, it's clearly telling us, don't forget my law. All right. But let thy heart keep my commandments. All right. So that your heart goes into your mind. Always keep his commandments on your mind, because we can't keep all the law. Being in this captivity, because every law in this captivity goes against, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, and then it says, "For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee." All right, so keep your mind on these commandments and not forgetting the law. To prolong your length of days. Peace will be added to you. And then it says, "Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, or write them upon the table of thine heart." All right. So, it's basically saying to meditate on this law. To do it as best as you can. All right. Write it upon the table of thine heart. Make it make it a priority. Set your mind to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And then it says, "So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and man." All right, so keeping the law to the best of your ability, setting your heart or mind aright, that's how you find favor in the Lord, and He'll hide you from your enemy, whenever they try to inflict, whether it be spiritual or physical damage upon you.
Con. And, like you said, we're going to keep it to the best of our ability. Um, with the best of our ability, we know that, there are laws against us that make us break the law, even ones that are so subtle. For example, if you have a job that requires you to shave your beard, we know that our law is to not to mar the corners of our beard. You have the clothing. The clothing. Our law says we shouldn't wear mixed fabrics. Where every store you go into, you got a cotton polyester blend or a blend of something else. Okay, keeping the Sabbath. The Sabbath is not every Friday sundown to Saturday to sundown. That Sabbath is established with the new moon. Okay, and we follow it from that point. But the thing is, if that new moon changes days, is on a different day for each new month, the Sabbath is going to be different for each new month. We can't go into Esau Edom's establishment, taking off all those different days every month. It just doesn't work that way. We're in captivity, so that's one of the ways that we're under grace at this point in time. Okay, although we're under grace from the law, it doesn't give us license to completely do away with the law. Okay, because the law won't save us, but it'll surely get us killed. Okay, because like I said before, the wages of death is sin, and sin is transgression of the law. All right, that's all.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, and verse 8. "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein." All right, so you're supposed to be meditating on this day in and day night, and when you meditate on something, you're constantly, thinking, how you can please the Lord to the best of your ability when you're meditating on the law day in and day night, that thou mayest observe to do, Salakia, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. All right, like the brother was going into earlier, that when you do according to all that the Lord has spoken unto you, all right, that bring forth longer life and better days, good days, all right, and that's going to make you prosperous, doing what's pleasing unto Yahweh by Shem Shai. But in our captivity, we can't follow all the laws. We're doing this to the best of our ability. We're rehearsing our righteous acts to do what's pleasing in the sight of Yahweh by Shem Shai.
Con. And just in that, opening scripture, brother was saying that one of those damnable heresies was teaching that, the law was done away with. You got a lot of these churches teaching that the law is done away with. And they'll say that, oh, we're under the new laws, under the new covenant. The new covenant is, loving Yahweh with all your heart, mind, and soul, and then loving your neighbor. Well, here's the thing with that. In Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8, he says, in that day, he will write the new law upon our hearts. So why take away a law, okay, and then come back and give you another one? That doesn't make sense, all right? But when they say that he gave us those two new commandments, this is why the scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth, because he'll tell you that, but not continue that whole conversation that Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Slakia, Yahweh Shai had with the Pharisees, okay? And that's in Matthew 22, beginning in verse 36. And they asked him, they said, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Verse 37, Yahweh Shai said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Verse 38, this is the first and greatest commandment. In verse 39, and the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And here's the key, verse 40, on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Okay? On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So that clearly means that the law still exists. Okay, it's still here with us. All right? It's not done away with. Okay? Yes, sir?
Con. This is the book of John, chapter 14, and verse 15, all right? If you love me, keep my commandments, all right? That's pretty cut and dry. You're trying to prove to the Lord you love him, all right? Just follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Don't, be wicked on purpose, man. You got to, show him that you love him by following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability.
Con.
Okay.
You got something?
Yeah, I got something.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. And it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. So this is the conclusion of the whole matter, all right? This is the end all, be all right? Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, all right? So it says, fear Yahweh, have that reverence for the Lord, all right? How do you do that, all right? And how you do that is keeping his commandments, okay? Because this is the whole duty of man. Man meaning Israelites, all right, who the law was given to, all right? So, this is the whole duty, all right? So, do what you're supposed to do as an Israelite, all right? And fear the Lord, keep his commandments, all right?
Con, that whole duty means,
That's your job.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Your only job.
That's why you're here.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Correct. And here's another example. You got those pastors also saying in the church that when Yahweh Shai came, the law was done away with. This is the book of John, chapter 8. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, get to the meat of it, but this is where the Pharisees wanted to stone the adulterous woman. Okay? And they brought her out, and Yahweh Shai said, in verse 7, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. Okay? It never happened. In verse 10, going down to verse 10, and this is after why he's on the ground, writing on the ground. Verse 10, he says, verse 10 reads, when Yahweh Shai had lifted himself up and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? Verse 11. She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. So, wait a minute. This is him speaking to her. He told her to go and sin no more. So if he's telling her to go and sin no more, sin by definition is transgression of the law. Okay? Whosoever committeth sin transgress the law. So if he's telling her that, and he's telling her not to sin no more, he's telling her not to transgress the law anymore, that means the law was still intact even when he was present. Okay? Got something? Got something else? All right. We hope that lesson was edifying to the body of Israel, of the the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird. We want to say Shalom, and we also want to give all praises and glory and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and members of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who also labor in this truth week in and week out. To you, we say Shalom,
Shalom.
Wa Abba Babal,
Abba Babal,
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.